tell me when we're ready.
We're good.
Okay. So we have double tail females, and they are solid. It's class is B3, and we have darker light solid. So we're working with darker light. First thing we do is count the number of fish on the bench as we have on our class sheet. So we've got all the fish. The second thing we would do is make sure everything is a solid color. Okay. This one's marginal for bicolor. See how light the body is compared to the fins? In my estimation, that's a bicolored fish. Now, it's important to have one's flashlight when we're doing this. And I need to fetch my flashlight.
Where'd you leave it, David?
How unprofessional.
There's a blue one right by my table.
Okay.
Or that one. We got one.
Okay. Got the mono-size one. So.
It was on. We just turned it off.
Okay. That to me is a bicolored fish, where it's very distinct. The body's lighter than dark fin. So that's a reclass. Okay. And so we make sure we get the class number correct. We refer to the sheet. And we need a female. And it's going to be patterned. Okay, pattern includes bicolors. Okay, so it's B5. And we need to make a change on that. Nelson or yourself, you take this over to the show bench. That leaves us with 9 fish. The obvious deficient fish, as they compare to the field, will come down. The process of elimination should be rather quick. We are looking for complete split of the caudal down to the peduncle, even lobes, as mirror image of the dorsal to the anal fin as we can. We're looking for how many stubby rays at the front of the dorsal fin. 3 has a fault rating. Any more than that and the fault rating increases, you have to look at the manual for the specific fault rating. I think it's minor on the 3 stubby.
It's been changed recently.
Right. There's been a new addition for the show year. Okay, so everything looks to be, in my estimation, minimum body length, no DQs on size. We might take a peek at this girl here. Now, it's difficult to judge with a ruler, especially when the fish won't cooperate and go sideways, but we're going the wrong way. It's close. I'm about 1 1/8 inches. I would say with that, we've got some judge's discretion on size. I can't get it out with a net and really put a ruler on it, so if it's 1/8 of an inch difference, I'm going to leave it in the class. I give the entrant the benefit of the doubt on something like that. Okay, so back to fish that are obviously not going to cut. Now, go back to this girl. She doesn't have the split all the way. Her dorsal and anal are unimpressive in relation to the field of competition. She comes down. This is a dark or light solid. Dark or light solid. It doesn't matter if it's yellow or an iridescent fish. Iridescence is ignored in this case. All right, so we have it on okay. This one likely will come down. Split's not so great, uneven lobes. Got good mirror image on this girl. She's going to stay in the hunt. Fins are a little bit longer on this one. The split is not great at all. The lobes would be uneven if it was. To me, the excessive fin is just going male. However, if you look at the body size, it's proportionate, which comes into play, even though it is a bit longer than we'd like to see. So, unfortunately, because of the poor split, this one's going to come down, because I see better double tail form. Again, the process of elimination. Now, got the split, a little bit sloped to the head. It's very common with double tail. Okay, we got the split. We've got a color fault with that, very typical mono black, where the iridescence is on the body, pushing bicolor. It is steel. Okay, we've got a bit of a bend here. You can see that. If it's excessive, we fault it. If it's slight, you only detect it from the top. We cut the double tail a lot of slack on this. Very common. But we can see that one. I'm going to bring this fish down. I think we've got better double tails in the class. Okay. So deportment is better with some of them than others. We've maintained temperature in the room. The humans are uncomfortable. The fish are good.
It's hot.
Now she's got size issues, but size is not what's going to place this class. All things being equal, the larger fish will place, and it's because it's harder to get an older fish with size to stay in as good a condition as a younger, smaller fish. That's not to discount the smaller fish. Okay, we've got red in the ventrals there. Split is not good. Slopey head. All right. This one, it's split is not all the way to the base or peduncle, but the lobes are even. That's tough to get. A little bit too much. The anal is not to the shape we want. We want more narrow at the base, longer at the bottom, less slope. Less slope than what we've got. I will bring this fish down. Now keep in mind, as we come down to our top 3 or 4 fish, we will revisit some of the fish that we've brought down and not ignore them, because they might jump back in as we go. Okay. Lobes are uneven. Split is not complete. Very common in doubletail. Very common. Now we're going to see if this girl will open up to judge the anal fin. It looks like it's got too much of a slope in front. There she goes. It is too much of a slope in front. I'm going to bring this fish down. Getting down to the nitty-gritty here. This girl's got a wash in the anal fin. Very common in the dark iridescent. See a wash there, it's not as invasive. Dark spot, color fault. Split's fairly good. Lobes are fairly good in size. And that comes down to which one we're going to bring down. The anal just slopes too much from front to back on this. The symmetry is affected. That's a big fault on the anal with this fish. Now we're down to 3. Now we place first, second, or third. Now this fish, it's got the small size, but it's got a nice symmetry. If you have the imaginary line down the middle of the fish, we actually cut it, which we never do. It's imaginary. The split is nice. The top lobe is a bit smaller than the bottom, which is a fault, very common. It's not all the way to the peduncle and the split. None of them really are. Okay, so we've got slopiness here again. First 3 rays shorter than the others. We've got maybe a 4th ray in there that's short, causing a bit of the too much slope.
Can I sneak in there with the camera? Or
yeah.
Just the show?
Red ventrals.
Well,
all right. Form on this one's about the same. She's a bit relaxed, so it's hard to see the dorsal. Sometimes sneaking a different fish in to have them pick up, or a male will get your fish to pick up. Females don't have the deportment that males do, but we should get response from them. See if we can get them to see each other. I'm going to cheat. I want to see what this girl looks like. Opened up. Bringing a male into the picture for deportment. Make sure the fish see each other. Sometimes flashlight in the middle catches attention. Come on.
She's looking.
She's looking. So this is the one we're after. Now this jagged edge, front end, again, too much narrowness in the front. So I'm not liking this fish particularly well. The split is terrible. Let's go back and look at some that we've dropped. Split is terrible there. That's out. Size is going to be an issue compared to the split is terrible. Split is not bad on this one. Let's bring this one back into the conversation. This one's got nice color. Dorsal and anal just have too much slope front to back. The flashlight is not so good.
Do you want me to grab you a better one?
Here it goes.
Yeah, mine might work better.
Okay.
Because I'm pro.
Here we go. That's a nice color. Iridescent. Splits about halfway. Lobes are close to being equal, although the top is smaller. You know, and it's not uncommon for there to be that slope front to back, especially in the dorsal. That's a common trait. The finnage is just a bit too long, although the body and the proportion, it's not like it's out of whack, but we still have maybe too long of an anal fin. Now, this split's not bad. This fish, I think, will go back into the conversation. Okay, now this is just too much of a slopey head for my liking. Okay. Now, I think...
Oops. Uh-oh. You lost your cards.
I think this one was in question. Let's mix up the order here a bit. We aren't leaning in placement yet. We're back to 5 fish. This one, I think, is going to be out. See that notchy sloped head? It might fit the short dorsal, if you will. It's just too much of a front to back slope for me. The head's not so great. I think this one had the red ventrals too, so it's out of the conversation, out of consideration. Now we're down to 4. Size is, all things being equal, we disregard size. It's got more symmetry on the dorsal to anal, but that could be because it's a smaller fish, about half a split of the caudal. That's important when evaluating double tails. It's hard to get a complete split and even lobes. This fish has a bit better, but the swimming?
The spine.
The spine, yes.
The top line.
Okay. Yeah, see, the bump is there. It's obvious just from a side view. We cut some slack. No, this girl is not straight enough. Okay. I would have gotten there.
I know. I'm running out of battery.
Okay, so now we're down to 3.
You're
This
fine,
should be our replacements.
You're
I
fine.
think of the 2, these 2 are going to be ahead of her, so we're going 3rd place. Sometimes we go in reverse. We'll go 3rd. Now it's down to 1st place between these 2. Too much light and reflection, the fish don't see each other as well. The lobes are more equal here on this one. The color is a bit better. That black spot is a bit of a fault. How about our ventrals? Are they even? We have 2 of them. Ventrals are a bit wider than this one.
Is there a split in there? Oh, there is.
Yeah.
Wow. That's
Okay.
pretty impressive. They overlap.
But you see the dorsal, if we were to fold this fish in half, might be a bit longer. This one, I think, is more in symmetry proportion. The split on this one's very good. The lobes are a little bit unequal. We'll take the split. So this is going to be our 1st place fish. And our 2nd. Now, another very important feature of judging is that you actually write 1st, 2nd, and 3rd place correctly on the sheet, or this was all for nothing. So, we have a pin. We do have a pin.
I don't have a pen.
All right.
You do.
So, B3-2. B3-2 is our 1st place fish. Our 2nd place fish, B3-1. B3-5 is our 3rd place fish. Now it's also, as a judge, important to initial the sheet so everyone knows who to tar and feather if there's major disagreement.
Thank you,
And with
David.
that, we have a class judging.
Yay!